Ma me fana say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Plane ya eko crash ye emanipa 8 ewu ye na chese ensimu na soma. Ivan J innocent any king Nicolas Zimmy to John Manchester nipa bia be wudi ye. Na kwan ya omo first we woni de chese ano di yi pa na o ma ne bo ama ene mu dala kra bodi o ti o ma sema na ayana te say story no. Ensema hudu bi ka we ho na Ivan J innocent any king Nicolas e de atuja. PENDREAM TV so di subscribe to channel na share juma de ma afafro ensa enkabi. Kama wane kwati ensema Ivan J innocent any king Nicolas e de atuja.
Moment call Ivan J innocent. Ivan
Nicholas
may we.
yes because you see Black Wednesday and because I mean Dark Wednesday
yo
black and the bonnet.
Okay.
And I think it was tragic and I'm not sure say any of us here can find any appropriate words yeah the best describe it what happened, because for me sitting here I don't believe say Omane Mutala. I don't believe, like I said, Obi can't story be a show, and you just want to, because it's something that is very, very, very difficult to accept. This is the reality, but unfortunately, it is the senior, and I should be able to make kind of say, yes, and your heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family. Obi, some of them, and you have personal attachment with 4. Of the persons who are involved in this particular accident, and I think that is very tragic. Yakase nipo biya bewu, but sometimes kwanya befa so abewu no, and yasem. Niko say ote helicopter na elusu control because they city and intino a somersault will wiem. So matisa man for a bisas and parachute or hen a deben. Sometimes I think in some noba unya to wasiana tiasia helicopter ya there out the first thing you do is all seat belt. And this are then lose control na somersault will wiem and yet to say plane a bit me an anti woman me quack of fadi and as a phone such a near man of craving no cry in new home and a cock for my enna so her jet fueler. One of the most combustible, the most inflammable fuels. I was as way so. And so now me make you reference. I will call the World Trade Center and Cråsh ko hijack plane the Cobalt World Trade Center. No, one of the planes. No, now when say I fail with jet fuel. I will because when say I very explosive. And one of the jets no mo no. Now you load jet fuel and I'm hijack the boom. So any plane in a course of that particular fire, sir, and fuel na a woman and the man exploding the kind of devastating impact in your sana. We I did win your cobble as an impact in the swamp. The likelihood say Jatoma anobaya deno because jet fuel na kasa will power the distance the combustion, you know, ama anwaya den. And so images and as for circulate here is very bad. And we me back Ghana for this attitude of I want to be the first person to break the news. But we should know that the very people involved are individuals and they have families.
Yes.
And whenever we are circulating some of these things, we have to be very circumspect in showing some of these things. You understand? For instance, now I was worried about Nipa body. I asked Gubotoma Yade call, but the explanation is yes. Explanation is not the bodies were so hot. Say or fan body bag him to they needed to transport those. The explanation, but
ventilation
exactly. Yes, but I think those or more those pictures. You know, it's quite unfortunate. We need to educate ourselves now and stop it. Some of these things because Nico Obakaya similar thing happened in the US. Kobe Bryant,
yes,
only so similar helicopter way. Yes, police for no call scene, no could capture pictures no more post here. Near SC settlement over $28 million. That is how Sanyama way I'm for taking it serious. Because some of these things, you know, scar about hunting forever. Just imagine like somebody like Omane Boama, Nema Meti TV, so and the last image Obenya, yes, I near my way and the bias and do you see how painful it is? Utu and no Kayobana, this is what comes to mind. So I think that yeah, prayer now no lumba we ubehana social media man forces a microphone, the quail crass in the penny say an interview and also try yes. nipa na or not the baby I would about not say the opportunity to be on TV. This Lumba in the beginning come more yakufa confusion with the family because of some of these. I think
even we crown confasha se Kosikama village ho. Exactly.
Yes.
And when I be bloggers in the
yes. And people have started weaving conspiracy theories. Obiane the enkase obian to me kamba asem no can make sure so when you know so India woka. And you who say we also dealing with family or alusu somebody and people who are very significant. Abuaje, for instance, was a personal friend. I've been to his house. Your friend is saying Obuase, Abuaje. And I remember
Samuel Abuaje.
Yes, I remember Olusu elections now back and forth. And I was on phone with him for almost 1 hour and over. And this is somebody.
Yes,
he has been coming to me as well. So that relationship is there, so you can understand. And yes, and the Honorable Mutala is somebody I've been admiring from afar. I like the way and analysis, very frank, like Asemno. And over the years, whenever I'm doing analysis, I make reference to in some what can say, or in the back can say, he doesn't believe say honorable more different parliamentarians no deserve because on one hand na include for name bi omo no ha or he doesn't feel comfortable. This is somebody or cannot be straightforward, and within analysis and as for things that this is really an intelligent person. Honorable Omanebo, this is a very young man, NDC IT from with a medical background, what blended with politics and how now offering me, and I started hearing stories the kind of nipa wa buomo nipa wa establish yomo as a young man in politics. And your friend is saying a man for a day before obewu you see social media video be by a crown or the your friend is saying plastic chair and a nanti Okohu family no surgery, and he paid for everything. So that could be his last act of benevolence on social media. And I'm told that is what he has been doing. You understand? And there are a lot of young guys in the NDC who can say I am here because of Omanabuama. Yes. What I say. And so these are the kind of impact I'm making on individuals. And then Honorable Samuel Sapong, yes, I also I've encountered him a couple of times. I also very nice person who the first time I didn't even know say he would notice, but he called me by my name kind of way and a whole lot. So I think it's not just the family. You will be and the difficult aspect of it is and your private job you know I do we see and that is very tragic. So I think across the political divide, we need to bury our political differences. Now you said these people, I call them the Great Eight. The big six we need to tag them the Great Eight. Na omo eulogize omo memory. Na manfo who say so cool homo mind na in line of duty so the nation will never forget you because very often we forget about people. I think we need to do something eulogize omo memory because any private job no more yes but in line of duty like this, and these are individuals. I think there's something need to be done. That kind of and unfortunately I listened to some terrible, despicable comment from people who should know better, like Kofi Apalu on one of the channels who I think that this is not the time for such a responsible, reckless comment. You understand? Because say and they say I'm not sure say sometimes the best so you'll be able to make and asambana say you better shut up and just let those who speak to speak and those who mourn because sa ade we you mean so you busi ani na sa ade we ya to a menya sure say obetimi aka say ubu ani aguso ana say kokan sama wo kan and then I was very happy when the president made an assurance say an investigation will be started. Ade ba kwa kroma yenya ho ade sa na ma we ade we sia yemfa manyame sa yemfa manyame sa na ma no I'm not sure say nyansa sama say yemfa manyame yes nyame life in dem say belong to nyame but we all must also do some investigation we are able to what actually happened. Sabaya in going forward, you know, yeah, the be avert similar occurrence. What I say, a accident at this stage is what we can say. But now that the black box has been recovered, according to the Ashanti regional minister, no, whatever conversation that transpired between the pilot and the control tower, no, and within, no, everything will be recorded, and I'm sure we will get a fair idea what exactly happened here, because this particular helicopter way has been involved in a lot of near accident situations. You understand? So we will have to know whether time and you do for servicing, not for the current state of way. There are a lot of forensic, I think, investigation that has to be conducted. These things are about public, you know. You can't just shelve it and sweep it under the carpet. And I think that transparency must be accommodated. Exactly what happened. Now, your man is move on. The situation like this, you know, the best way of it is give you the family closure. Wama Ghana for closure. And yes, sir. We investigate a man for who exactly what happened, and I think Sasia Yebenya Ahutoso Sabaya a bed debunk the kind of conspiracy theories people are just throwing around, because you know my catchers and we are not just makers of news, we are all prosumers. People are producing, making and lay content. People are selling content for money, and as for people who just try to create their own news, and some of this false narrative in one way it will become the established narrative. Family no crime feel uncomfortable. Metisana honorable man one of the uncles interview, and they see I say adeba kuma asena chase a kind of ya pa any accident na sino na nyewu no mo na mom sa akoko botona ya carry wa mu woman na ye video a amanfo de nam no e da obi kon ho it's and just imagine say oh papa and that is the memory you have, and it's very terrible, you understand. So I think that my proposal is that going forward, you know, parliamentarians will need to propose a legislation I be dealing with some of the Nico car betting your bow. I'm a nurse. I know say a car bombs is here at the moment, and somebody can do CPR, basic things to revive you. About your mom was in the when she had a camera a video.
And there are some background now of road accident.
Yes.
Then the pan instead of so called Bonnie Pan, we trying to face.
Yes, or the social media, because I mean, I'm posting when something could have been done to save. So I think that some of these things, some of these sensitive images, and as a phenomenon, we need to weave a legislation that bar man for, especially Obiu, any accident, those sensitive graphics, you know, ban people from posting. And now, sir, some of these social media platforms, you know, we can engage them, Facebook, YouTube, wherever. We can engage them, say, within this territory, some of these explicit photos, you know, we should not allow them. I think Facebook and other platforms have those policies. The quiet, you show a blue higher, the catastrophe catcher, a sensitive graphic. And I think some of these things going on platforms, what's happening as a forum, Mamma and Casabella was a man for best send the video. We are fond of doing those things. So I think that we need to do proper legislation. I am banning a man from doing some of these things, and within the media space, and a man for us when it comes to some of these experiences as a new. I'm blogging kakresi kabi obenyantino whole lot of dirty news na you true without being sensitive said nipa no every family member nipa there. And I think that it's really bad. But as a young man, I think that we should be inspired by what these people lived for. That is very, very important. My man helping and inspiring a lot of young people. Where he got to, he has been able to honorable Mutala, where he's coming from. And he's one of the selfless individuals I've seen. This is somebody very passionate about Ghana. He has been an anti-corruption crusader for a very long time. I listened to a video, no I care the young MPs. So we are Mansika ala bebu attain. You see how passionate he is, and also no ye debate and then as for Abuaji has been a very fine gentleman, and then Metisen will be honorable Samuel Sapon and Samu Kumase. Abuaji crowd no see so a last born. Oh, yes. Now I think that the heartbreaking way I met say the pilot.
But couldn't 2 months ago.
No, pilot, you know. This year, losing the sister.
Oh, okay.
And I was here losing the brother. So he is the third. That is the story going around if it is true.
Okay.
So you can imagine, and the mother is alive. You can imagine the pain that person is going through. This same 2025 way. So my mother Lusu and mommy and son. So we will share the images like this. You should be very careful and you should be guided. So family no aka ha your man ya nete but be social media no so cops be. So when you're weaving your conspiracy theories and then as for now, be very careful and be very mindful. It's not about getting the clicks on social media. It is about the sensitivity of how this and how painful it is. I did a heartbreaking and heart-wrenching experience. And I was at the Jubilee House and I may follow this kind of your friend is a memorial service and so President Mahama Baye, you could see this is a man who is visibly shattered. Broken inside because you see near see first one about yourself guilt, especially when the person is going to represent you. A question about Musa Mekaso what I say. So you could see the president is highly devastated. The vice president, honorable your friend said Julius. Everybody was sharing tears and then as for because this is something that you can't analyze it, you can't explain. There are just you can't do anything and be making sense out of some of these things. Obia, the air was filled, was heavy with grief, pain, and sorrow. And Obia Briefibi, and the atmosphere at the Jubilee House yesterday was that of your friends saying sorrow, then as a fall. So I think, say, as a nation, we must all come together and celebrate this great 8. Now you make sure, say, what they lived for, their legacy will be in our memory, will be on the consciousness of Ghanaian people for a very long time. Now young Kyei say we 9-day wonder we are forgetting where for you. I think we need to do something to build the legacy.
That's papa wonderful submission. If you Ivan Che innocent wo mamen call Abubakar Sadiq Suleiman Sadiq into
Nicholas. I didn't see it there. To be honest with you, it's very devastating. We know, say, Xavier Canon, and I say, Ivan Canon, or will be a you, but the beer sent be fed you, no, and then I say, attach Ghanaians. I just can't picture, say, now, per what is going on, you see now, it was so being called, and on the corner, and Kyei, and especially Mutala, and I see you, bra, Mutala call. You see, Uncle Nimanka said, this is what is going to happen, Uncle. So, we imagine, say, almost a room, hundreds of feet. Now, you see, they were off the radar.
Yeah.
They knew maybe or more. That anxiety, that pain. At that time, no more helicopter. No, what is going on? It didn't cause war. Team. Who say who no? The thinking. You see, it's not sure. Hey, brah, and easy. It is. So I understand His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the way he was shattered. We know his closeness with almost all of them. He's very close with them. Now Abani say, "Wasmao, this is wasmao we koya di with mommy on my behalf." Now dear Meteno, now you see, you've lost your soul. And easy, my brother. And easy. So. I know, say the family is going through a lot. And let me buttress the point of Ivan. I say a flight never tore hormone, and I say helicopter never tore hormone. What we should have done, and I think we know. Let me use this medium to congratulate the people of Sikama. They did well. They were bold. They were brave. Just in case there's a survivor.
Yes, from town
2 hours. 2 hours journey.
A forest in the
2 hours journey.
A mountain.
You see, a 2 hours journey.
And easy.
And so it should tell you, say, but they got there trying to almost say, almost say, they can save her. It's a bravery, but when it comes to this thing, let's sensitize the minds of Ghanaians. Say it becomes a crime scene.
According to a Sena, my witness in a quarter, or just say a backroom hole.
Very. That was, I think, that was when they were struggling because say fog go hot. You want say. Once say aeroplane now, the airplane will have to go through the fog. No, I brighter side. But when we say helicopter, now, aim to me, sir. So I think that was when they were struggling. They were struggling. Emma, what happened? And then so, I got a boss.
Serious.
You know when it crashes.
Yeah,
fine. So I'm not sure. Say, but as going back to what I was trying to say, you know, say we say see. It becomes a crime scene. Forensic, it was a boom. So what I say, the cause of what happened, and then you see, yes, we all know, say, there was a blast in Kofu, but at least, you know, they'll gather some information that will help us in the future too. So, in as much as we are congratulating them, say, we are there, they've done so well, but next time, no, let's try as much as possible now. Yema police from Braho, no more cordon hormono. Now, just in case of anything, now, I'm bet to me some information just to support us. Aside that, also, with regards to the flight, you know, this is a particular flight, you know, other countries somewhat, you know, that particular flight. I don't want to make mention of that flight.
The campaign,
yes, it's a particular one. No? So maybe say young government, and bueno. But it's a Ashanti gold there also, and your government there.
So
you know, it's in custody of the military, but a gold company be there. So I've forgotten the name. I've forgotten the name, but it's a Yamudia, and it's in the custody of the military. So I believe say military in some there. When it comes to maintenance, they do it very well. You know, Ghana military is one of the most experienced military in Africa. So I say, so we don't know what's happened. All those conspiracy theories just to try to put the military in bad name or the government or whatever. No, this is not the time. That is why we need a forensic audit to make sure say, what caused the accident. It could be say a nature because a no, that is what caused it. But let's be mindful. Say helicopters to hold on and say just in case of accident and a car will be motor will be yen train now those responsible no so that they will gather any information there. Apart from that, you know, so Nicholas, we have very, very wicked men in this country. Very wicked people in this country. We share social media. People are trying to equalize. Say I see my MPP for. I say,
I don't say, and the crowd, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia Koi. What's my main policy?
Yeah, so that
acting Chief Justice Aka.
And American say, we have very wicked men in this country. Say politics. Politics. Because I belong to A, say, Missima Bia, Minisa Abadayano, Emma B. And that is not it. Look, before politics, we are Ghanaians. So as I say, before politics, we live in our homes together. Before politics, we have friends who belong to the other side. It's just by choice. Say we were MPP, we were NDC, and our CPP, and our other party. And see, let's guide ourselves. Look, the African tradition is one of harmony. The African tradition is one of solidarity. The African is one of obia, BBC ofia, meet me aba, sleep there, make sure say, you know, we were quite with my support. But Sisiano, we have young boys they just want traction. Because of traction, or per se Facebook, you know, you can say he's the first auditor now you know, it's very wrong. First image I mean here, Dïrty was the one I mean here. If I can't who I wash it. So I just and it's very gory. Very gory, Nicholas. And bloggers, you say you guys want to eat, you guys want to get information, and this time information sells. But the fact of the matter is here, there are certain things. So when you're here, you'll be blamed for. Sure, imagine say, oh papa, I could see you school. Now, President Asumano. Now I see, oh no, don't worry. Maybe I'm telling you, I pick you school. Now I bet you, I bet you, I see papa. That trauma. And
some me ya kran say benim say mosomote ya me me say Dr. Manibo amakran na nipa wo ne tie twen because to catch them say onche nti omo no appointment o show omo one or say by one it's now one all kwana pa no na nkofu ti ne tie twen
I heard the same thing
mutala so sa ofu wo ne tie omo twen no because to catch them so okwa aba tell helicopter na twen omo no sign no baba
see. Look, who's there? Mami Kacho, who's there? Enter human beings and we have to be very careful in whatever we do. Now people are quoting Murtala Mohammed. People are quoting the benevolence of his side of benevolence and the side of Umanibo his benevolence and Sapon and all. Whatever you do today, Ochina, Kofebeka Hansen. We papa Nkofebeka.
Sanity.
We Boni Nkofebeka.
Sanity.
Now I know wherever they are smiling down because of the good works are there. Nkofo Kekan se omoye. So to be honest with you, they died as heroes. Omo in the line of duty, and I believe, say, the state will forever remember the aged people. Apart from that, also, Nicholas. What's the name of this political party? Man now can't answer.
LPG.
Maybe I name it
LPG gas
or Pacho.
One can say,
you see, you don't speak like this.
Some call Akre and Yamu.
So when your position, that position, either you succeed, that was our position, as one succeed, you become a statesman. We will be our contest for presidency now. This is such a loose talk.
I can say it.
So sometimes we be let's come together as Ghanaians. Yes, we have the politics as an aspect of it, where we like to score political points. Second, political points, the NDC has more points to score than the NPP. So than the NPP. But this is the time at DNC, let's shelve politics and make sure. Look at the Sierra Leone president in diplomacy, a friend of morning diplomacy. So morning diplomacy. At least we feel the crew. Abba Ghana. Baby, a friend is saying, eulogize with your friend, our president, and tell him, say, oh, I feel your pain, my brother. As Africa, as Sierra Leoneans, we feel the pains of Ghanaians. So if an outsider ever back room just to come and solidarize with us, how much more? So BBC na ye kasa. Let's be very careful. Look, Omanebo enye so special than someone who died on a bicycle in the area. So what you say? But the difference between Ono and Omanebo are two things. One, or ye jumama krono. Two, yeah, or ye jumama ama krono. Two, so no. The way people, it's shocking. It's unexpected. Anna Murtala Mohammed, Anna Alhaji Limuna, Sapon and Abuaji and Co. All these people are coming from homes. They're coming from families. And social media doesn't die. It is there thousands of years. So it's just here. You let me say, and then no Enra. And maybe the honor who said, I got a text, but I don't know if I got it, Ivan. There's this company I can say, so what receive you at DSC now? Dïrty. I don't know that you received it from a company.
Their app, so is
no, it's just a text message that came.
SMS. Yes, MOCDT.
Correct. I don't know where it's coming from though. But whoever is behind this,
okay.
And I don't know if there is a way to delete this thing automatically from our gadgets, because look, it has a long lasting effect on the children. You see, so the Pacho, I didn't see with and I also want to commend Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. At least what you say or your statesman. he's called for us not to politicize it. I think he should tell his people also, because they are politicizing this issue. Because I didn't see the bet me see mobia. Bet me see mobia.
Serious.
Bet me see mobia. Look at the way Nkofo Esu yesterday. Who's your chief of staff? My boss. Look at how also
she first lady,
she national chairman. Obia, you can see everyone was worried. So everyone was worried. So Bani say, see, but then let's try to make sure say we put a human factor. Me can't see so forensic no I was South Africa no.
I focus.
I am not happy. I personally, my opinion, I'm not happy because I believe we have a lot of forensic professionals.
I between in
Ghana.
A police, hospital, doctor now.
And I make sure,
They're sure surviving in the
it is,
and yeah, dear better.
And I make
now what to be so Mabaland.
No, almost say 12 hours.
12 hours. Okay, test no.
Almost say 12, but within 12 hours, no.
Okay.
On Benya
12 around where 5 p.m.
on
4-5 p.m.
On DNA, no. I think
was on the way in a koi. Jata flight and
yes, it's not as if Ghana any capacity to do some of these things, but when it comes to medical facilities, for South Africa is one of the most advanced countries.
Let me come in. I am not. Look, the capacity of Ghana. When Ghana was Ghana, where was South Africa?
Oh yes.
Me use medium with the appeal. I know for a fact that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will make sure he resolves this issue before the because putting UGMC I believe say on the second term we could have all these facilities in there. So much as here. So with the DNA test, we look. The Forensic Association of Ghana only issue statement. I don't know that you got it as a media station. They were not happy. And let me tell you something. Do you know what this thing creates? If Anka Yetuye Mayehu Anka or Chinebi says Siwo African country beer, they will come to Ghana. They will come to Ghana. Now DSTV. Is it not from South Africa?
Yes. Right.
Are we not fighting with them now? Why don't we also have a company like that? I am I'm a patriot. Anything that will favor Ghana, I will support it. I don't want to justify say a missa in India. We should be able to do it. And they are claiming say they can do it. And trial and error. They are saying they have done it. They even referred say Takradi who say Nkolebi and say septic tank.
Yes.
They say almost almost say they brought it together and make sure say when way they use that at the court of law. So I say so they have done it before. Maybe way there we are mourning.
Okay.
We don't want to go deep into it. Yeah. And I believe say there is a special reason in South Africa because well Muslims will they feel say and all those things. But and lastly
okay.
Senior sister microphone she kutukunu
a hard training.
A
hard training.
Sacrament. And look, they could have done better. They could have done better. Okay. But I believe say sometimes in the panic, they try to
say that time name say time that's what button na sacks na available so me say I'm some of the bass and the share bag now so
well whatever it is it will remain in the minds of their family for a very long time.
I'm so honorable Sam George to communicate by saying share how I say
okay we should rectify that.
Okay,
we should rectify that.
Okay, yeah. Maminda Abubakar Sadiq Suleiman Mendana Mamin Sam Bros so Ivan nkomo ya twaso
Yes, I think still there is pain in the air. There is grief, also, and I think it's good a larger section of Ghanaians identify themselves with what is happening morning with the state. But the president has officially declared 3 days of mourning to celebrate these individuals, and I think it's in line with how tragic they way sometimes some of these deaths, their money it's possible helicopter and crabby team boho abra wunya na wona mabu na dade bia to nan so na obi en ho betimi apagya na ade na catch fire, so animu no na wo she you can't do anything about it. So this is the magnitude of pain these individuals got exposed to. So we are Ghana ni na wo ka ho asema, you should be my obi be ka say no mo nkwan na bia to mo da bi enyo mo nkwan na bia to mo, but I think say aba no we cannot also brush it aside. Okay. So I think that is one of the way I inform the kind of Nema Koso, and I think that as a state, this is the time said na yesi kind of politics na sephobia no yet betunchen. Na also at that side, I'm for raising a whole lot of questions regarding your friend saying the state of the plane in as a forum. I think that proper investigation. Their course will distill and bring clarity to some of these things, and I also believe it is an opportunity for us. I am found with truly the military. Now you're making sure any single sophisticated equipment be available. Because crashing AC, the next thing I may expect is at the very moment the military issue statement say plane now the next flight should be there. I searching for.
A searching flight.
What I say. So but you can't sit in a cry issue statement. I ran to something needed to be done to do a follow up. What I say no,
the follow up. Yeah, the follow up was done. But
no, the follow up was done, but it was.
I understand. These are areas that see
communication. 9:30. Having a bare mid morning. No different.
Yeah.
So this is the area dance. So AC. But on June this year, also on June this year, you say my but man, you can't Nicholas 12:30 corn one when them say I feel so
I think that communication is very, very important. So all kind of you're also adding solution. Oh, this is what has happened. This is what is being done. What I say, communication is very, very, it must always be effective and very absolute. So who say something is being done, you understand? And I think said the Mexicano Sabaya did put you away with all these conspiracy theories and rap me who said joy for a year interviewer. Some of the village nearby and a man for alcohol spare parts in Obidi Konifie. I think that the military met some of the people and they confiscated these items. These are near any forensic investigation. I'm for assassin Konifie. Mine and now your interview they should bring it because they would need it. But they can we need to control this particular place, making sure you see understand. So some of this the agency then as a for no
farm part
and some of these people but you can't blame them. Some are doing it out of ignorance. What I mean, so when I should say so I think it is an opportunity for us to read through the military. Like I said, always we've been complaining about. I was shocked the first day I walked to Bema Kampa Matidi I was shocked because then I was expecting to see a golden city. But the very moment I got there, I was shocked. And I think we need to help the military. Now you're making sure we retool them.
Especially to be liberation.
Young guys no more band baby I think every resources be a state in because these are young men or more dedicated or more life they will serve their country. You can die any point in time. But the best we can do for them is to make sure we provide proper accommodation in I can't do because jetty available do available. I'm not sure I feel I'm for because we aside why I say whole lot of yes, and American because the unavailability, give you credence, creating room for people to be doing all these things. So I think that we need to focus. And at the money, I said, do you know, sir, the last address Dr. Manabo Makwaya no Parliament, he was hitting on this same thing. And I've seen the video circulating. Or can say some of the jets we use in the military, some in terms of they are not in good conditions. They be in conditions.
1980.
So
even this one doesn't belong to the military. Okay. It's just about custody.
Maybe say whether it belongs to them or not. Once you are using it, for military purposes, and the maintenance should be there. And some of these things you may even go beyond the military. And I make us say, you see, it's about a country and your resources because military they don't finance themselves. It is the state that you take home and $58 million to Kutuamana. The $58 million
it's more than that.
And he signed the Catety 7 or 39. Then this is a military no here for more. Now this can be doing I think some of these things here near my near Kamwasem. And then with the DNA, yes, the DNA can be done here. But in medical settings, very often we do what we call confirmatory test. What I say. So some of the facilities here can do. But for further, because I listen to your friend saying the health minister. No, because a confirmatory set. Because I quite your friend saying hospital. Now you test like HIV and as for. We do first one, oral quick, second one as for. We do further tests to confirm. Sometimes come back and let's redo it and confirm. You understand? And the speed and the urgency in South Africa now you cannot compare it to Ghana. And the situation, for instance, Mario say, are there Muslims and Muslims are not people who to make people or more way or more. So with that speed and that urgency, you need services like this. So you know that seems Ghana into me, but it's the urgency and the fact that.
But I'm just forensic in Ghana Hankas into me.
No, DNA test, but I'm telling you, sir. The urgency and the weight you hear you know some of the one of the biggest your friend is a laboratory where Ghana I'm not doing advert for them Lancet you know be free everyone there but some of the tests of 2 weeks they take it to South Africa you understand so sometimes when you are very yourself to some of these things you understand and I think that the larger part of the whole conversation here has to do with the point here maybe I can't want some say you see. So we in the Padasani, it doesn't matter where you get to in life. The very moment I'll be tono, Obia Major and Nico or BMW, Nico Usidai way, nobody cares about dining with Japan Sika or go bank account. It is about the way we impact it on a month for and when I make come on about Monday. People are not talking about a dime or people are not talking about cars anyway. People are talking about impact I want make it on others. And for me, so what you see, and now we're a politician. This should be, and I've always been talking about this. Let us focus on building people, elevate people, so that. And who buanipa may expect say me buana mana be buame no who buano to a certain level or also be kwa impact others and then the this thing no it continues you understand let us begin to elevate people build the individuals and these are people who come and celebrate you elogize you and talk about what you have done now what's the second in our quest matter at 940 matter we and then 940 the poorest person in Accra and Odidi and that Odidi qualify question the best we can do as a society is to impact that be a catcher man for say yet there be a analysis where stand the question you know na me bra Kwame Nkrumah no Kwame Nkrumah wasn't a billionaire Accra had been dan OCC but this guy is so fabulously rich. He said, live in the memory, the conscience of every single Ghanaian. And this is the wealth. We are politicians, we are upribi. Sabaya, what people can never forget about you because of the impact I've been making. And I think these are lessons that we need to learn going forward. Politics, governance, whatever space you find yourself, you prioritize impacting, helping, elevating people. Because my culture say leadership, the central theme is humanity, and leadership in your idea, leadership for me is an act. You look at the prevailing circumstances, social, economic, political, religious, everything, social phenomena, everything. now what navigate it through. So for instance, problem about you give solution. Problem about you offer your first a solution, and as for a man for a war mobile or you're very good, but there is an opportunity be anyhow. How do you find these individuals and elevate themselves their potential and your media more you can also potentiate some of this and elevate them and can impact and help this country. These are some of the things I think the politicians should prioritize. It's not about when I will go account to my we can't feed anybody. And there was the last time I went to one of the universities and I was interacting with students and maybe someone say find out the richest person in Ghana in the history of this country. We saw that farms, we saw Mr. what can that con one farm and so be crank what I say. So Sikana Obi will be China. Now to Ghana business can watch Elon Musk and now Benyan watch and Bill Gates. So the best thing you can do is the impact you make on others, the little that you can, wherever space you find yourself, make it a priority, build people, help people, elevate people. Now Sanyemano and a idea obetimi akasa yes menso the meet me here any contribution here and that's who Nicholas say ofuri ha beduru ha ayamena meboa no even if you don't talk about it you to also go and help others and that particular thing will grow. And I think that these things I see and I'm inspired by good things I'm for kafa o manebo ma ho and mutala and few others and Makachiro Abuaji, I know him personally. He's very kind. Yes, Samuel Abuaji, very kind. And I think that yes, let us be inspired by this. Very often politics na ya na greed in the door so person and life sometimes we must begin to understand life. They say life is very simple. Just imagine say position ya chiche nipa e bia ba ku bia nya bia we nipa won to ho ase but now you didn't know say through that what they kwakwaji someone said this. So life, the dynamics and the complexities of it is so things it goes beyond human understanding. So sometimes you're taking life slow. Now you're say whatever space you find us, we say you don't need to be a president to be able to make impact. You don't need to be a minister. The little space you find yourself, you can do the little that you can. Say, be able to grow minor. Now let us begin to love one another. Now now greed as if what's we are dying. So I think these are some of the inspirations that we need to draw from some of these and inspire. So you see about your country, you bet me with that love, I think that we can. But very often the Ghanaian dream, has never been in focus. Individual pursuing selfish parochial interest, greed in a way, it's not nice. So I think that these are some of the things that we need to do. So let me take the opportunity once again to wish the family heartfelt condolences, because these are young men, individuals in their friends 50s, 40s. 40. These are young people.
None of them is above 50. I think they are all.
I think 51. I think
Mane is it 49? Because I heard from
what about
Chairman?
Alaji is more than 50.
I think he's 57 today.
Yes, Alaji is 57 today.
Yeah, but I'm saying a larger part of them, your friends saying your friends, the pilots, Abuaje, Honorable, Alaji. These are young individuals, same way at home. So I think we need to tag them. The great eight, celebrate their memory, not just because they are special, but because what they've done represent, will send a message. About culture young Ghanaian say so also maya na say enam so na wota or mine will reward you. I think this is something that we need to do. And also extending your heartfelt condolences to the president, because I understand the grief. For instance, obi kwako jina weni makwakwa ya ade what I say, and it's sad. And I understand the Honorable Mutakasu, because according to report he was supposed to be part of it, and then Honorable Dr. Forcing called him, said they have a meeting, so he has to meet it. Dr. Sapon, so you see the complexity and dynamics. Life, is so complex. Let's take it easy. Sometimes you can't understand it fully. Now you live, in our own terms, in a very simple fashion. And I think that will help all of us.
Subscribe to the channel and share to my dinner for and come.
Mamena PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal le Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.